Hi guys, Penny Rose Journals, how you doing? So, are you lucky like me and gifted a box of defunct business cards? Or do you pick them up places and, just throw them in your little rack or wherever? Excuse me. Today I'm going to show you what I do with business cards. I was very fortunate to be gifted this box of business cards that were now defunct. And yeah, they have been sitting in my stash for quite some time, simply because I just hadn't got around to using them. This is generally what I would do with a business card. They make fantastic little tags. They're just a really nice size for it. Of course, they're very, very ugly and very, very shiny and all the rest of the things that go along with business cards being usable in the real world. But in my world, that doesn't work. So I choose papers that are a little bit thicker. This is quite a thick brown paper. This is actually the paper I use for packaging when I send items overseas. It is quite sturdy. So this is just an offcut that was in my scrap bin behind me here. So I've used that. I also chose some dictionary page, and I used some of the printables that I gave to you guys the other day, the free digital. So, because they're still sitting on my desk. So of course, I had to print them out to make sure they looked good. So, yes, I have used some of those as well. All I really do is stick them on the paper that I'm using. Now, I'm just cutting this to size simply because it's such a sort of large piece. I tuck them underneath my mat here as I'm working. Just helps them to stay flat and stick nicely. The reason I'm folding them like that is just basically to make sure I've got enough paper to cover them when I cut them apart. So yeah, it's a very simple process. I stick them down, I put them somewhere to dry. You could finish sticking them down in this instance, but I just didn't. I popped them under my mat, let them dry a little while I did more, and I came back and then glued the other side down. So anyway guys, that is all I'm doing right here, right now. So I'll leave you with it and I'll come back and explain the next step when it happens. Okay, well, they've all been sitting under my mat for a while, so I've hauled them out, and now I'm just going to stick the paper right around them. I glue on the cards first, and then I glue on the other side of the paper to make sure that it's well secured. So simple as that, and then they go back under the mat where they get to sit while I do all the rest. So yeah, what else can I say? Won't be too long, we'll do something else. Okay guys, that was more than enough of that. So here we are. This is all of our cards. All of the paper is stuck to them. They're nice and dry. And yeah, now I'm just going to cut them apart. You could, of course, leave them together like this. And just fold them in half and make a little flippy notebook with them, if that appealed to you. Maybe a project for another day. Today I'm making tags. So I just squish down the ends like this to give myself a bit of a crease so I can see where the end of the business card is. And then I press my scissors against it and cut it as flush as possible. If you've glued it quite thoroughly, there should not really be anything showing of the business card once you've cut it. So it will be a nice little shape for a tag. Now I don't cut the corners off of these when I make tags out of them. I don't feel like it's necessary, but if you like to do that, then yeah, you can definitely do that. I just leave them as little square tags because I don't mind little square tags. All right, let's get these all cut. Okay guys, there they all are cut apart. We have quite a little stack of what used to be ugly business cards and is now rapidly turning themselves into cute little tags for a journal. We did end up with quite a few, and they're all just a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is decorate them up in a manner. I have these little scallop squares, thank you Bonnie, that I received in Happy Mail. I have a billion of them. I decorated a few up the other day. I think I did actually some on camera in a video. I stapled slides, the inside of slides and photo negative sort of business. I stapled those on to some of them, and I stuck stamps to others, and I stamped numbers on others, but I still have a billion of them. So thought I would use some of the decorated ones today, along with one of my little labels that I harvest out of textbooks. So yeah, just going to use up a few of those. You could always decorate these more. I just think it gives me a nice base to work with. It looks good on its own. But if it needs a little something to go with whatever journal I'm making at the time, then I can always add to it. So it's my kind of look anyway. I like things that are a little bit sort of, industrial. So anyway, there we have it. That's all I'm going to do to that one. There's a few more to do, so I will leave you to watch the process and I will come back at the end. And of course, where would a tag be without a topper? So I figure I should do that too. These are just little pieces of ribbon. I have a whole bag full. If you saw my video of my sewing room the other day, I mentioned that that bag up there has little ribbons in it, just little offcuts of ribbon. So I took some of those and sliced them into little pieces that sort of fit these tags. Most of the ribbon in there is quite thin, so it was a case of picking out the bits and pieces that I could find that looked like it was the right size. So I cut them down and I'm just going to attach them with a staple. You could glue them, you could sew them, whatever grabs you fancy. I like staples, so staples it is. Right, well, that's the last one, and they're all done. So, yeah, I think I said before, I don't cut the corners off these. I like them the way they are, but you definitely could cut off your corners if you wished. So we have a nice little stack, and they'll go into my stash for future use. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was useful to you. If you've got some business cards, go make some tags. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming along. See you next time. Bye.